Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and you're joining us for New York Fight Exchange 2. I'm your host, Brandon Verts. Joining me for commentary is Matthew Stone, and we're going to go ahead and take you to our ring announcer, Kevin Garv.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give you what you want and why you're here tonight. It's about MMA in New York. Now, unfortunately, professional MMA is still illegal in the state of New York. These are amateur contests. But I'll tell you something, the rules here, these are full rules. These fighters will stand and bang, and they will ground and pound. And ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, there will be blood.
And you know that's what we all came to see, Matthew Stone.
This first bout is sponsored by Evil Dungeon Apparel. Get your official women's NYFE tank at the Evil's Dungeon table. Also, all night long, get your legalized MMA in New York shirts and take advantage of their 20% off specials. That's Evil's Apparel. Their booth is in the back. Check them out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the action started. Let's bring out our first pair of fighters. Introducing first, Robert Diggle.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard Kevin Garvin. Our first matchup is underway. And there you see him making his way to the ring, making his debut in the MMA world here tonight in New York Fight Exchange 2, Robert Diggle.
That's right, Brandon. This is Matthew Stone here. This is New York Fight Exchange. And we're going to take you just some quick words right now from Robert Diggle.
My name is Robert Diggle. I'm from Pallettown. I train out of Long Island MMA. So it's going to be my first MMA fight tonight. I'm excited. I think I have a well-rounded style. Do a bit of everything in this day and age. You can't afford to be a one-trick pony. People like Ronda Rousey. There's some of them for sure, and they're great. I love watching them, but they only get so far. So yeah, that's how I like to hit the sport.
Did I just hear him pull the shot on Ronda Rousey, Matthew Stone? My goodness, for someone making his MMA debut, definitely some choice words.
That's right, Brandon. This is Robert Diggle, trains out of Long Island MMA.
Let's bring in his opponent, introducing Uniah Banks.
We're going to go ahead and pull up our rules of the cage here. All the fights are follow the unified MMA rules. 3-minute rounds and scored on a 10-point must system. There you heard Kevin Garvin announce this man making his way to the ring. We saw him at the inaugural New York Fight Exchange. Here is Uniah Banks.
That's right, here we go. Uniah Banks out of America First Gym. He's definitely been working on his stand-up right here, but here's a teletape right here, Brandon.
That's right, there you see both of these men pretty equally matched. Definitely the height advantage goes to Uniah Banks and the experience. Again, Robert Diggle making his MMA
folks,
debut.
Here we go at the New York Fight Exchange. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Pallettown, representing Long Island MMA. He stands 5'6" and weighed in at 135 pounds. Making his MMA debut, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Robert Diggle! His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Elizabeth, New Jersey, representing America's finest. He stands 5'8" and weighed in at 135 pounds with an MMA record of 1-2. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Uniah Banks. Your referee here with instructions, Anthony Andriosi.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Uniah Banks is definitely experienced again. He was with us a few months back at New York Fight Exchange 1, making an appearance here in New York Fight Exchange 2, and definitely he's looking to recoup from that loss that he gained at New York Fight Exchange 1. And this man, Robert Diggle, is trying to make an impressive victory in his debut in mixed martial arts.
That's right, Brandon. We basically have the grappler in Uniah Banks against, the striker Uniah Banks against the grappler Robert Diggle. As you see, Robert Diggle immediately pulls him into guard. Uniah Banks with some brutal ground and pound, but he's got to be careful. Looks like he's going for a heel hook right now, Brandon.
Definitely right, Matthew Stone, and this is some of the stuff that they train for at Long Island MMA, and there you see Uniah Banks in the black trunks, Robert Diggle in the red trunks, and definitely got that knee lock, almost an ankle lock, trying to roll out of it, but the cage is definitely preventing some of the escape on the part of Uniah Banks.
That's right, Brandon. This is early in the fight. Both men are not slippery, so it's definitely easier to get a leg lock, but Uniah Banks is definitely defending properly. He's not panicking. Look at he tried to do a vicious hook right there. You got to do whatever you can, but like you said, that cage is definitely preventing him from rolling out of this maneuver.
And definitely, like you said, Matthew Stone, Robert Diggle is using the cage to his advantage. Oh my goodness, look, that hurt Uniah. He tries a couple of hammer back fists there, trying to break the hold. Definitely has got to be causing some pain on that ankle, even that knee, Matthew Stone.
That's right. You saw him immediately wince, Brandon. He switched from an ankle lock to a toe hold. He's like a pit bull. He will not give this up. It's all about the great MMA training at Long Island with coaches like Greg Pascal, Dennis Bermudez, and Chris Wade. You know you got top-notch jiu-jitsu when you battle at that gym.
And definitely this is not a part of Uniah Banks' good game plan. Like you said, he's a stand-up fighter. He's a striker, Matthew Stone, and definitely doing everything he can. Oh, there he taps. My goodness. This matchup is over, and what an impressive debut for this man, Robert Diggle. We're going to go ahead and pull up a quick, you have to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with an instant replay and the official decision here from New York Fight Exchange 2. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we're going to pull up a replay of exactly what we saw just moments ago in the very first round. There you see Uniah Banks falling prey to the ground game of Robert Diggle. Robert Diggle quickly locks in that submission hold. There you see, right after he puts on the ankle lock, Uniah trying to fight out of it with those hammer fists right to the face of Robert Diggle. Robert Diggle adjusting his position, wrapping up that knee, getting in the ankle lock, and making Uniah Banks tap.
That's right, Brandon. He had no choice. He was going for that ankle all night long. Eventually, Uniah made that mistake and he capitalized. I'm going to tell you what, he definitely made Palatown proud.
Palatown? Where's Palatown, Matthew Stone?
I know this might be my inner nerd kicking out, but I believe that's where Pokemon Red and Blue originated.
My goodness. Well, there you see. And definitely this man, Robert Diggle, has made his hometown of Palatown proud. There, not the most orthodox stance for after you win a MMA debut fight, but definitely, nonetheless, what a great display of MMA submission holds there on the part of this man, Robert Diggle.
That's right, Robert Diggle might actually be in a state of shock. He did just win his debut.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is stopped at 1 minute and 26 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by submission, Robert Diggle!
New York Fight Exchange 3, just a few months away, coming up June 7th. I'm sure we're going to see both of these great athletes compete once again.
And now here to interview the winner is Stan the Man. Stan?
Thank you, Garv. Rob Diggle, if I can grab you for a moment, let me get you right here. Nice leg lock. Looks like you know what you're doing with those leg locks.
Yeah, more or less.
Is that what your game plan was for coming into this fight?
You know, I believe in MMA you have to be an incredibly well-rounded fighter. You can't just have one thing that you focus on. We don't see guys like Paul Sass or Cody McKenzie make any waves in the UFC, so, I mean, if that happened, great, but I had many backup plans.
Where do you train at, Rob Diggle?
I train at Long Island MMA in New York.
Give him a round of applause. Who do you want to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Masakazu Imanari for existing.
All right. Oh, he wants to thank Imanari. Everyone give Rob Diggle a round of applause. Great leg lock, Rob Diggle. Now we're going to throw it back to the guard.
So we'll be bringing him in his cage. But right now, we're going to bring the fighters into the cage. Introducing first, Alfred Jones.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, not wasting any time. Again, an impressive debut on the part of Robert Diggle, but now it's time for this man coming out with the lovely NYFE girls, Alfred Jones.
That's right, Brandon. Alfred Jones, once again representing the Long Island MMA. We're going to have multiple fighters here tonight, but once again, let's take you to an interview with Alfred Jones right now.
My name is Alfred Jones. I fight out of Long Island MMA. My head coach is Greg Pasquale, 135 pounds. And this fight, I plan to do what I usually always do, and that's interview.
Definitely this young man had a couple of trials and tribulations on his way here. Just a few hours before the fight, Matthew Stone, he was in a minor car crash. He was rear-ended on his way to the club of Amazura, but definitely didn't stop him, making his way into the cage. This man is pumped. This man is ready. We're going to go ahead and take it to the rules of the cage. Again, all fights tonight are under the United MMA rules. All fights are 3-minute rounds, and they're on a 10-point must-score system. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and there you see Alfred Jones. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the cage, Richard Pabon.
That's right, Richard Pabon trains out at Darce MMA. That's a great crew up there. Last time we saw Richard Pabon, he beat Benjamin Sigliotti at GOW Rise of the Warriors by decision. It was a great fight, and he's here tonight to prove himself in New York Fight Exchange too, Brandon.
Definitely right, and again, he's going to have his hands full going against the undefeated Alfred Jones.
That's right, Alfred Jones is known for his devastating kickboxing attack. I mean, he's got some of the most brutal leg kicks and elbows in the business. Richard Pabon has definitely been working on that at his Darce MMA, as he told me earlier today. But all the training in the world doesn't prepare you when you get hit with them 2x4s, Alfred Jones style.
Definitely right, Matthew Stone.
Hey guys, my name is Rich Pabon, fighting out of Bayshore, New York, representing Team GMA and Team Mad Dog. I'm currently training with DRC Martial Arts on Brentwood Road in Brentwood, New York, and with Team GMA. It's run by Louis Ruiz, part of a team of different fighters from all over, and hopefully I'm going to be working with UFC Jim Huntington in the future, but for this fight I was preparing with DRC Martial Arts. I'm from Bayshore most of my life. Background is mostly wrestling. Though I have been improving my striking, I've been improving every facet of the game. To be an effective martial artist, you have to have every facet. You have to grow in every area. You can't be closed-minded in any way. So though I may be labeled as the wrestler, you know, I have a couple tricks up my sleeve tonight that I'm going to utilize. Some people are not going to recognize me from my past fight. It's just about growth, and it's about continually seeking to make yourself better, to search for what you can pull out of yourself, and surprising yourself, and then trying to live up to the potential that's in you. Everybody's potential is unlimited, that's what I believe. So all I know is I'm just going to keep striving. There's never perfection, but it's okay to strive for it. And we're just going to see what's going to happen tonight. It's going to be fun. I'm going to go out there. I feel confident. I feel blessed that I'm going to get the victory. We're just going to go from there, one day at a time.
Well, definitely some encouraging, positive words from this man, Richard Pabon.
That's right, Brandon. How can you not root for this kid after hearing that touching speech? But he's going to have to do more than touching words when he deals with the undefeated Alfred Jones.
Like he said, he was labeled as the wrestler. He's going to have to try to let those hands fly. But we're going to pull up our tail of the tape as we show you the difference between these two men. Pretty equally matched except for the scorecard, which definitely leads to experience that leaning towards Alfred Jones.
Folks, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Wyandanch, New York, representing Long Island MMA. He stands 5'6" and weighed in at 135 pounds, undefeated with an MMA record of 5-0. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Alfred Jones!
Definitely well represented here at the club of Amazura tonight.
Across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Bayshore, New York, representing Team Mad Dog and Team GMMA. He stands 5'6" and weighed in at 135 pounds. With an MMA record of 2-1-1, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Richard Pabon!
What an interesting fight it's going to be, Matthew Stone.
Phoenix.
Again, the classic grappler versus the classic striker. We know what's happened in the past, and let's see if history is going to prove itself again here tonight.
Alexius Phoenix has laid down the law. It's time to do this. Undefeated Alfred Jones against Richard Pabon. As you say, the classic striker against the classic grappler. That's the great matchups you get here at New York Fight Exchange 2. And here we go, Brandon.
That's right. Our fight, second fight of the evening. Both men come out swinging with some huge head kicks. Both of them blocked and checked by the opponents, trying to feel each other out, trying to judge the range. But definitely Alfred Jones looking a little bit more comfortable. There you see Alfred Jones in the blue and white and Richard Pabon in the black and white.
That's right. Alfred Jones definitely looks more crisp in his striking. I'm sorry, Alfred Jones, forgive me. Richard Pabon definitely been working on his stand-up, but this is what he wants right now. He's got the backer right there. He's up against the fence. He needs to clinch and take this to the ground.
Well, definitely Richard Pabon doing everything he can to keep control of this matchup. He definitely wants to try to get it to the ground. Again, that's his game plan. He feels like he's a little bit more comfortable down on the ground. And definitely, he's doing a good job of taking away those strikes from Alfred Jones.
But don't take nothing away from Alfred Jones, Brandon. His excellent takedown defense, using that third man, that cage, if you will, to stand up. But right now, Richard Pabon cannot take him to the ground. Look at those devastating knees. That's the kind of knees you get coming out of Long Island MMA, Brandon. It looks like an inverted low blow, but there it is.
And definitely Richard Pabon being a little bit hard on himself. But it seems like it's going to be a good time for us to take our next commercial break. And we'll be right back after these words from our sponsors with New York Fight Exchange 2. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and this portion of New York Fight Exchange 2 is going to be brought to you by Evil's Dungeon. There you see Alexius Phoenix giving some words of reprimand to Richard Pabon, giving some words, waiting for Alfred Jones to be ready, checking on, make sure everything's good to go before he starts this fight up again.
That's right, Brandon. That's why we wear cups in the ring, folks, just in case that happens. But both of these men are honorable warriors. They touch gloves, and let's get this on right now. I just know that Alfred Jones might be a little bit incentive now to make Richard Pabon pay for what he did. Look at these kicks. One right to the liver. That's devastating, Brandon.
Definitely right, Matthew Stone. Incentive, sometimes it works against you, sometimes it hurts you more than it helps you, and sometimes it's just what you need to light that fire and definitely come out. Oh, that was a nice flying knee, just out of range for Alfred Jones, but still the attempt. Oh my good, look at these hands fly. They're not holding anything back here tonight in this New York Fight Exchange cage.
That's right, Brandon. Alfred Jones is letting his fist fly. Pabon needs to take this fight to the ground, because I'm not a judge in this fight, but I believe he's losing on the scorecards. Look at these knees and punches. Like I said, world-class kickboxing. Look at Pabon. I think his mouthpiece just got knocked out, Brandon.
You're absolutely right. The referee, Alexis Phoenix, just picked it up. But my goodness, look at both of these men working. Uppercuts, body blows, just all over. My goodness, the combinations keep coming from every angle. There you see Alexis Phoenix has temporarily called a pause to this match so that he could get the mouthpiece back in for Richard Pabon, checking in on the corner over there.
That's right, Richard Pabon is a warrior. He don't need no stinking mouthpiece. They were just hooking and uppercutting. There was no technique there, folks. It looked like a hockey fight. But right now, both men are settling in. I think the nerves...
Oh my goodness. Out of nowhere, straight shin shot right to the groin. My goodness, unchecked, unabated. My goodness, and look at the pain. Look at the agony on the face there of Richard Pabon.
That's right. As they say, that was squaw to the groin. That was devastating. But like I said, as Alfred Jones earlier, he'll get his allotted time. But both men need to be careful now. Will this factor into their attacks now? Because they got to be thinking about keeping their kicks right. Because about 75% of Alfred Jones' attacks are his kicks.
Well, definitely, both men just get a warning. If it happens again, it will definitely be points deducted. But definitely, from the competitor that Alfred Jones is, I know that was not intentional at all, Matthew Stone.
That's right. We only have top-notch fighters here at New York Fight Exchange. Both men looking to make a name for himself. One man looking to remain undefeated. Look at that spinning back kick to the chin of Richard Pabon. That was crucial.
Definitely right, Matthew Stone. It looked like it connected just behind the ear. But look at these uppercuts. Oh. Speaking of crucial, and Alfred Jones is just unloading, and down goes Richard Pabon to the mat.
I was just about to say, how was he standing? But that last uppercut dropped him. Oh, unfortunately, this is where Pabon wanted to be, but not with Alfred Jones on top raining down thunder like that.
My goodness, it definitely saved by the bell, in my opinion. There was Richard Pabon. A few more seconds, and who knows, Alfred Jones might have made a quick night of this fight. we're going to go ahead and pull up an instant replay and show you some of that action. Here again, my goodness, some of these knees right to the body, finding the mark. Oh my goodness, and there was that one right to the groin, that low blow. And again, the look of concern on Richard Pabon's face. Both men come out, touch gloves, and right away, oh my goodness, down goes Richard Pabon.
Anything you can do, I can do better, I guess. But right now, both men feeling the pain of the low blows, but they let that go. And right now, look at this exchange right here, just uppercut. Another knee right there, uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. It's like I'm playing Fight Night. This is crazy.
My goodness, Matthew Stone, you're absolutely right. What an awesome first round we had. I cannot wait to see what happens in the second round coming up here in just a few minutes. But unfortunately, we've got to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the second round of our second fight from New York Fight Exchange 2. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for round 2 of this New York Fight Exchange bout. And it's going to be brought to you by Verizon Fios, where Verizon Fios is a network ahead. And there you see, after our first round, we had a couple of low blows delivered by each of the opponents, the sound of the bell, and our second round is underway.
That's right, Brandon. New York Fight Exchange 2, round 2. We got Richard Pabon taking on the undefeated Alfred Jones. And as you can see, you can just tell, I mean, I'm not saying that Richard Pabon is not a good striker, but you can tell there's a little bit of difference in the class, you know, of the skill level between Alfred Jones and Pabon, Brandon.
Definitely Alfred Jones showing all the skill in the striking. Pabon, I think, is a little weary after causing that first low blow. Again, the classic grappler trying to take this man down, catching an uppercut right to the mush for his efforts, trying to keep his balance is Richard Pabon, trying to get a good game plan going is Richard Pabon.
That's right, Alfred Jones is definitely being content to just hold him up against the fence and throw knees. But just as I say that, Richard Pabon is the reversal. But as I know, Alfred Jones has beat Dave Roski at ROC Amateur 15. He beat Tom Velasquez, ROC Amateur 16. And both of those fights didn't make it to the third round. So Alfred Jones, I don't know, maybe if the fight goes into the later rounds, we'll see what happens. But right now, he's definitely winning on the scorecards against Richard Pabon.
I have to tend to agree with you, Matthew Stone. Again, I'm not a judge, but definitely Alfred Jones seems to be in full control of this fight. A nice knee to the breadbasket there of Richard Pabon, but definitely liking to finish is Alfred Jones. He's knocked out a lot of his opponents, even got a couple of submissions under his belt in that 5-0 undefeated record.
That's right, and like you say, Richard Pabon is trying everything he can to take down Alfred Jones, but once again, excellent takedown defense from Alfred Jones. He is just not allowing him to be taken down. Every time he tries, he makes him pay with knees and uppercuts, and this is not winning Richard Pabon the fight, Brandon.
But definitely, you have to admit the same thing from Richard Pabon. Great defense, great sprawling. Definitely, look, there he falls prey to Alfred Jones, trips the leg, pulls the leg out, able to get him down to the mat, and definitely not where Richard Pabon wants to be.
I know we got a role reversal. We have the striker using a single leg trip on the grappler. This is crazy. And now he's trying to get him out. He can't. He's getting a half guard of Richard Pabon, delivering strikes. Now he's got knee in the belly. He's almost mounting a Brandon. This will be a long night for Richard Pabon if this happens.
You're absolutely right. And again, definitely that experience is starting to show for Alfred Jones. Richard Pabon looking a little bewildered, trying to land a knee, trying to throw some type of offense, trying to get back into this fight.
That's right. As you can see, you can see right now there is nothing but heart being shown by Richard Pabon. He is not giving up. He is not out of this fight yet, but he needs to, if this takedown isn't working, he needs to break free and try to do something. He needs to maybe, you know what I'm saying, hit a hook, maybe a couple of knees to the inside thigh, but he cannot take Alfred Jones down, and this is not working for Richard Pabon.
Well, definitely one good thing for Richard Pabon. Unfortunately, he looks a little winded, but he's not taking as many near big blows as he did in our first round. All those knees, all those uppercuts. Our second round comes to an end, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in our next round. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and this portion of New York Fight Exchange 2 is going to be brought to you by UltimateFightersPhotos.com. And there, the sound of the bell. Round 3 of our second fight of this evening is underway. Alfred Jones in the blue and white. We got Richard Pabon in the black and white, and definitely both of these men are throwing some leather out there.
Did you see those? That had to be 5 or 6 uppercuts straight to the chin. Richard Pabon has won me over. He's definitely Iron Chin Pabon from here on out. But this is crazy. I thought I almost took him down. Richard Pabon has been trying this entire fight to take him down. But I'll say this, I have my notes here, and I don't think Alfred Jones has even made it to a third round in the fight yet. So in that aspect, Richard Pabon has a victory. He's the only fighter so far to push Alfred Jones into a late third round.
Well, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, there you see the web address, www.newyorkfight or NYFEMMA.com for all the latest info. Oh my goodness, there is a huge double leg takedown on the part of Alfred Jones. And again, Richard Pabon in a place he doesn't want to be.
That's right, Richard Pabon has been losing this fight. No offense to Richard Pabon, he needs to do something. It's not over. He needs to get out. He needs to rotate his hips, try submission, something. It looks like he's trying to get back to his feet. But this has been the Alfred Jones show, and there's a reason he's 5-0, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, definitely showing that reason why, but definitely I kind of have to wonder, did that little bit of a fender bender, did that little bit of a car accident have something to do with his psyche? Did it have something to do with the reason why he wasn't able to finish in the first or second round? Is it something to do with the reason why this match is going to a third round, Matthew Stone? It's only speculation.
Total speculation, but that's a good point. I just know that Richard Pabon's got to be breathing hard. His ribs got to be killing him after at 20 to 30 vicious knees. He's been getting uppercutted. This is not going good. This is not the game plan Richard Pabon wanted to implement here in New York Fight Exchange 2, Brandon.
Well, definitely, if nothing else, we can say that just a few months away, June 7th, is going to be New York Fight Exchange 3, and we'll definitely look to see both of these men back inside this very cage.
But like I said, don't take anything away from Richard Pabon. This fight is not over. There is 49 seconds left, as you can see right there. A referee, Alexis Phoenix, separating the men. We want action here in New York Fight Exchange, and both men collide like two bulls in the middle of the ring, Brandon.
And there's a couple knees on the part of Richard Pabon. Maybe that separation was just what he needed to ignite that spark. Oh my goodness. Or maybe Alfred Jones ignited that spark as he delivers a couple more vicious knees right to the solar plexus of Richard Pabon. And down goes Richard Pabon with Alfred Jones on top.
Now, I can't believe this. All the takedowns in this fight so far were implemented by Alfred Jones. This is insane. He's definitely, I mean, when you're that good at kickboxing, you just need, you just work a little bit on your ground game. And like I said, when you're already that good in one discipline, you translate to another discipline really well. And I hate to say it, but it looks like he's overmatching Richard Pabon in this fight, Brandon.
Well, definitely we're going to have to call it a moral victory for Richard Pabon as he was able to go the distance with Alfred Jones. Again, Alfred Jones never even made it to a third round before. The first time he's ever gone the distance. We're going to go ahead and pull up a replay of some of the action we saw just a few moments ago in round 3.
That's right. As you see, both men touch gloves, and right off the opening belt, devastating high kick attempt. He's letting Richard Pabon know this is what I do. And as you can see, Pabon looked overwhelmed right there. That might have stunned him, but these uppercuts are just brutal. As you can see, one after the other.
Had to be 7 or 8 in a row, Matthew Stone.
I don't know how he's took that. Like I said, it's Richard Iron Chin Pabon from here on out. I mean, he showed the heart of a warrior. He just could not get the takedown. Every time he tried to press him against the cage, look, he tried to take down there, but Alfred Jones just made him pay with knees and uppercuts. And the ones he scored the takedown was Alfred Jones. It's amazing. Right here, as you can see, I believe he grabs the foot. There's a couple uppercuts for good measure. And then I believe, like I said, pin up against the cage. No, this is not that right here. But like I said, Richard Pabon is just outclassed, Brandon.
Richard Pabon doing everything he can right there to keep his balance, keep his feet, keep his wits about him. And Alfred Jones doing everything he can. There's that double leg takedown and lands right in that dominant position. It definitely in full control of this match. I'd say from midway through the first round all the way to the very end. And here's some of the action that led up to the end. Again, the knees on the part of Richard Pabon just wasn't enough. And here's a couple more strikes from Alfred Jones, a couple knees of his own answering back. And my goodness, like you said, Matthew Stone, the heart of both of these men, the exertion, they did not leave anything inside the cage here tonight.
That's right, Richard Pabon gave it all he had. He tried to pull guard and attempt one last submission, but as the bell finally rang, Alfred Jones on top delivering ground and pound. Like I said, this has been a long night for Richard Pabon, but don't worry about it, kid. You'll come back stronger the next time. You'll learn a lesson right now. But it's like I said, Alfred Jones might we have to wait for the official decision, but might be 6-0.
That's right. We'll be right back with our official decision right after these words from our sponsors at New York Fight Exchange 2. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. and we're going to have our official decision. But again, I had to say, what a round that was. What a fight that was. Just our second fight of New York Fight Exchange 2, and this one is going to be brought to you by Killer Instinct Management.
That's right. This has been a great night of fighting. Let's take the decision right now.
And definitely that wasn't that much of a surprise for us, Matthew Stone. What a great display for the part of Alfred Jones. And again, what a great display for his opponent, Richard Pabon. Oh my goodness. Definitely the fans not happy here with Alfred Jones and the words he said after that impressive display. Well, definitely what a great display. We're going to go ahead and not waste any time and get right to our main event here in just a few seconds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our challenger in our first title fight of tonight. Let's bring him into the cage, Rob the Hurricane Scotti.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, with more of our beautiful New York Fight Exchange ring card girls. There you see Robert Scotti. Making his debut here in MMA.
That's right, we got Robert Scotti from Ping Skills, Long Island. Once again, representing Long Island MMA. Whoop, whoop. Big ups to Long Island MMA right now. Represented in every fight we've seen so far. He's got to be nervous tonight. This is the main event. This is the title fight of the evening.
Rob Scotti, fighting out of Long Island MMA. Fighting for the co-main event belt, 145 pounder.
Man, a few words there is Robert Scotti, but I misspoke earlier, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. This man has an MMA record of 1-0, not making his debut.
That's right. He's here tonight to go for that title, but he's going to have to get through Philip Carls right now. This is the featherweight title. This is going to be one outstanding fight. What a night of fighting we've had so far. We've had Uniah Banks in that crazy submission. We've had a 3-round war with Alfred Jones, and tonight it's a title fight. Let's take it to the rules of the cage, Brandon.
Absolutely right, Matthew Stone. Again, just like before, all these fights follow United MMA rules. No kicks or knees to the head of a ground opponent, and no strikes to the spine or to the back of the head.
And I'll say this, for being in a title fight, he looks awfully calm. It's like I said, it's that calm before the hurricane, if you will. This is Robert Scotti's time to shine, and he's not going to let this opportunity go to waste here in New York Fight Exchange in the Amazura Concert Hall, the Ides of March.
Well, definitely Matthew Stone. He should be feeling a little confident, a little calm. Everybody that we've seen tonight from the Long Island MMA has won their fight. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with our champion making his way to the ring right when we return from these words from our sponsors for New York Fight Exchange 2.
And now let's bring in the reigning NYFE Featherweight Champion. Here he is, Felipe Carlos.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Featherweight Champion making his way to the ring. Look at the ladies with all that gold being carried for Felipe Carlos.
That's right, as they say, it's good to be the champ. And Felipe Charles Carl is our champ right now. He's coming out of East West MMA, a devastating team, obviously representing Team Pork Chop in the house. This is his time to shine. He told me earlier he's not gonna let Robert Scotti invade his territory.
That's right, Matthew Stone, but here it is, our tale of the tape. There you see both of these men pretty evenly matched as far as height and weight goes, but definitely the experience goes to our champion, Felipe Carlos.
That's right, last time we saw Felipe Carls, he actually beat Uniah Banks at the New York Fight Exchange, won by unanimous decision. So basically this is revenge for a Long Island MMA camp. Right now, like I said, they're 2-0 so far. Can they make it 3-0, the icing on the cake, and put the featherweight title on top?
And definitely there you saw one of our referees wearing the WKA. And I have to admit, I have to announce that all of our fights tonight are being sanctioned by the World Kickboxing Association. There, take a look at one of our lovely ring card girls. My goodness, only the finest here in New York Fight Exchange.
New York Fight Exchange featherweight title. Introducing first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Dix Hills, Long Island, representing Long Island MMA. He stands 5'7" and weighted at 146 pounds. Undefeated with an MMA record of 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Rob, the Hurricane Scotti. And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Holtsville, New York, representing East West MMA. He stands 5'7" and weighted at 146 pounds. Undefeated with an MMA record of 5-0. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the reigning, the defending New York Fight Exchange featherweight champion of the world, Felipe Carlos.
There you heard it, and listen to the fans get behind Felipe Carlos.
We went over the instructions in the back upstairs. Any questions? Any questions? You're going to protect yourselves at all times. You're going to listen to my commands at all times. You're going to shake hands now, back up, get ready to fight.
Well, definitely I'm excited. The crowd seems pumped, and why not? After the first two fights that we've seen here tonight, Matthew Stone, this fight should prove to be nothing less than exciting.
You're absolutely right, Brandon. Look at Felipe Carlo. He looks like an animal. Both men touch gloves. Will there be a feeling out process? As you see, both men are undefeated, but you have to be the champ, you have to beat the champ. And right now, Robert Scotti is definitely trying to implement his game plan. Looks like there's a little tentativeness from Robert Hard Hands Scotti, but as his nickname suggests, one hit from them hard hands, and this fight could be over. New champion.
Well, definitely, Felipe Carls is dancing around this cage like a gazelle, if you will. Definitely feels comfortable. Oh, but definitely landed some blows is Robert Scotti. And look at this. Definitely not a good place for Felipe Carls to be in. Robert Scotti is making him carry all of his weight, using all of that strength at the same time, constricting those lungs and cutting off that oxygen supply.
That's right. That was a devastating combo. Left, right right now. Then he jumped into a standing guillotine. You know, as you said, making him carry all his weight, but the you know what I'm saying, the experience is showing in Felipe Carls because he weathered the storm, got him off, pushed him up against the cage, and right now Robert Scotti is using a lot of strength holding on to that front headlock right now.
Well, definitely the experience pulls through for Felipe Carls, and definitely a beautiful takedown on the part of Felipe Carls. They train for that.
He looks in trouble, Brandon. Look at him. It looks like that's a tight guillotine.
Oh my goodness, finding a way to slip out again. They train for such things there at East West MMA. And again, those hammer fists right to the face of Robert Scotti doing the damage. Definitely letting them know he's there. Definitely putting some points on that scorecard for Felipe Carls.
That's right, Felipe Carls thought he did good with the takedown. Look at a rubber guard attempt by Robert Scotti, showing the flexibility there, trying to lock Felipe Carls into his rubber guard. Felipe Carls saying he's fine, but he definitely had a grimace. That guillotine wasn't deep, but he slipped out, battled through it, and right now he's pressing him up against the cage. Can the rubber guard of Scotti handle the ground and pound of Felipe Carls, Brandon?
Well, definitely Felipe Carls was wincing there. That was definitely a deep front face lock there on the part of Robert Scotti. And there you see Robert Scotti in the black trunks and Felipe Carls in the black with red trim. Oh my goodness, a huge takedown on the part of Robert Scotti.
That's right, Felipe Carls was going for the guillotine. Robert Scotti realized it, went for the double leg, slammed him down. Felipe Carls let go, and right now he's got him in the half guard. This is getting crazy. This is the title fight. This is New York Fight Exchange. The crowd's going crazy. As you can see, we got Phoenix over top, laying down the law, and he's going to set him up and break him in the middle of the ring, Brandon.
And definitely a good move there on the part of Alexis Phoenix, standing both of these men up. We're getting to a little bit of a stalemate, but right back into the stand-up action. Both of these men looking to land that first big punch after the stand-up, trying to get some momentum going after that.
That's right. As you can see, hard hands. Robert Scotti definitely living up to his name. The champ definitely needs to keep his hands up because one of those punches could end his night. But as you can see right now, the champ is definitely composed right now, delivering these soft shots. And as the bell rings, round one is done, Brandon.
Absolutely right, Matthew Stone. And what excitement that has been. Here we're gonna got our replay. We're gonna take a look at some of the action that we saw in this very first round of our very first title match at New York Fight Exchange 2. Look at the fury, but then after those combinations get landed, Robert Scotti able to get that standing guillotine.
That's right. As you can see, he's got the full guard standing guillotine, making him carry all his weight. Felipe Carls, he landed through it, and as you can see right here, he took him down, pressed him against the cage. Robert Scotti tried to implement his rubber guard, but Felipe Carls was having none of it. He battled out of it. They had to stand the match back up, and then a couple more punches were exchanged. This is definitely one heck of a first round. I can't wait to see what happens in the next round, Brandon.
Definitely there you saw a couple hammer fists, and then that beautiful double leg takedown lands Robert Scotti right on top, and definitely in an advantageous position to press him up against the cage. Seems like we're gonna have round number 2 coming up right now.
There you go, Phoenix letting them know it's time to fight. Round 2 is underway right now. Featherweight title on the line. Robert Scotti, Felipe Carls, New York Fight Exchange. I never get tired of saying it because it's the truth, son.
Definitely right, Matthew Stone. Again, Felipe Carls in the black and red, and Robert Scotti in the black trunks, throwing those huge hands. Like you said, they call them hard hands for a reason. Any one of those making the right contact with Felipe Carls could spell the end of this match.
That's right. As you can tell, Robert Scotti's definitely a scrapper. They say he had to change training partners at Long Island MMA because people getting broken jaws because of hard hands. But look at that. Caught the kick. We got a leg trip. He's definitely needs to be careful of the up kicks of Carl.
Definitely, again, Carls is the more experienced of the two fighters with that record of 5-0. Going against the man who's trying to add to his record to become 2-0. Definitely, what an upset said it would be if he could somehow pull off the victory and become the featherweight champion of New York Fight Exchange.
That would definitely be the trifecta for Long Island MMA, but as you say, he's trying to stack Felipe Carls up in the corner. As you can see, wisely, Felipe grabs the feet. He's trying to take him down. As you can see, he did right there. Looks like Scotti's trying to get him an ankle lock. But as you can see, Felipe Carls is not worried about it. Oh, look at him hammer them elbows to the thigh. That's a very underutilized technique there, Brandon.
Absolutely right. Those elbows right to the iliotibial band, doing the damage. Definitely could put some pressure, could put some pain. Look at the pressure being exerted on the foot, on the ankle. Apparently, Robert Scotti lets Alexis Phoenix know that he tapped or his ankle snapped right back up. Quickly though, it's Felipe Carls. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. He definitely looks like he's still able to compete in this contest. What do you make of this, Matthew Stone?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen. It looks like we're going to have to take a look at a replay here. This is crazy. I've never seen this before. But as you can see, as we take a look at the replay here, some of the high-paced action, like I said, both men, we had a small feeling-out process. He caught the foot, took him down, few up kicks right there. But like I said, it only took a matter of time. He was trying to stack him up against the cage. But as you can see, the grappling awareness of Felipe Carls there. As you can see right here, he grabs both ankles, trips him down. But as Robert Scotti falls, he lands in that heel hook. And as you can see right there, he's got a lot of torque on it. Felipe Carls, he looks fine. As you can see, he drops the elbows right there. But as you can see him wince right there. And another wince right there. As the action, Phoenix is all over it. And as you can see right here, look at him. Oh, look at the torque on his leg there, Brandon.
My goodness, Matthew Stone, you're absolutely right. And definitely, Alexis Phoenix must have heard something or saw something that we didn't. And he calls it into this fight. Regardless of what we say, regardless of what the fans say, that man right there is the official. Called a stop to this bout. And we're going to have to wait till we hear the official word.
That's right. As you can see, anything can happen in the mixed martial arts world. Felipe Carls seems to be fine. The crowd is not happy with that. As you can see, he's walking around. But the ref's decision here in New York Fight Exchange is final.
You're absolutely right, Matthew Stone. Our ringside doctor or red side physician is checking him out. Definitely the crowd, you can hear by their chant that they are absolutely not happy with the way that this match has turned out.
Obviously, as you can see, Felipe Carls was in a lot of pain. The referee was only thinking of the fighter's safety, I believe. But as you can see, New York Fight Exchange fans are not happy with this decision.
And here we go with that official decision, ladies and gentlemen.
Referee Alexis Phoenix has stopped this bout at 1 minute and 15 seconds of the first round. Your winner by submission from the blue corner and new NYFE champion of the world, Rob Hurricane Scotti.
Well, I alluded to it earlier, ladies and gentlemen, and I was just blowing smoke at the wind. I don't know what happened, but apparently it came true.
We got what you need.
As you can see, the new champion getting his belt.
Around his waist.
The trifecta comes true for Long Island MMA, going 0-3 tonight, and the feather on the cap, the featherweight title comes home to Long Island MMA. It may be a controversial decision, but the decision stands here in New York Fight Exchange.
He yelled, he made a noise during a submission attempt. Technically, by the athletic commission rules, that could be a submission. He made a noise, the referee, some miscommunication, the referee stopped the fight. Unfortunate turn of events, but let's not take away from Rob Scotti's hard-fought victory, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, definitely that was a good clarification by Stan the Man.
You had a tight leg lock there. Who knows what would have happened there? It was close to the finish. What was going on?
Honestly, I heard his ankle pop, but he didn't tap. I told him we could do it again in June. I don't want to win that way, man. I just want to go, man. And that's not the way I want to win, but I did hear he was holding out on the submission, man. But I did hear something pop.
Everybody, that was a very competitive fight. Felipe, are you going pro in May, or you want to fight on the June card of New York Fight Exchange? June 7th, we got a rematch. You and Rob Scotti, or are you going pro? What are you going to do? What do you think? You want a rematch, Rob Scotti, for the amateur title?
You know what? I'm gonna have to think about this, but most likely I'm leaning on towards going to my pro debut. But you know, nothing against my opponent.
Both of these guys fought hard, guys. You guys are discrediting both of them by booing right now. Give both these guys a round of
Impressive
applause.
fight nonetheless, Matthew Stone.
That's right. Both men, former champ, showing the heart of a warrior. True, as he stated, he made a grunting, yeah, noise. The referee had no choice but to stop it for the safety of the fighters. I mean, this was not what Felipe Carl's imagined when he woke up this morning and got to New York Fight Exchange. But as they say, anything can happen in a fight game, and it happened here tonight. What a night of fighting, Brandon. This is New York Fight Exchange 2, the best in the world.
And one word comes to mind, class, Matthew Stone. And we want to say thank you for joining us for this first installment of New York Fight Exchange 2. I am Brandon Verts. Joining me was Matthew Stone. And for all of us at New York Fight Exchange, we say thank you.